Okay, if you ever want to know if you are a jerk for how you have behaved, just send us an email, mail@kbjshow.com, and we will give you a ruling on it. You see a lot of fights that happen over parking spaces. What about this one? Was this person a jerk? It says, the other night I pulled up to a restaurant with my wife to grab a bite, and it was packed, but I saw that this car had its reverse lights on. They back out of the spot. I pull in. Well, as we're getting out of the car, this other car backs up behind me, and a guy yells out the window. He said, hey, we had our blinker on, man. That was our spot. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even see you until right now. And he's like, well, I passed the spot, but when I saw that car backing out, I put my blinker on, so I claimed it. And I'm like, dude, that's not how it works, man.
No, if you pass the spot, you pass the spot.
Yeah, I'm like, look, you were ahead of the spot. I didn't see you had your blinker on, so I pulled right in. Yeah, okay, sorry. Your timing just didn't work out. And he's like, yeah, well, maybe I just need to block you in, you jerk. I kind of ignored him. I just walked inside with my wife, but I just want to know, in any way, was I the jerk in how I handled this, and what is the ruling when this happens?
Now, once you go past the parking spot, you lose that privilege, and the guy that did all that was the jerk. You did the right thing by not escalating the situation. At the end of the day, it's just a parking spot.
Yeah, you can't engage with somebody like that because obviously he's unhinged.
But it does suck, though, when wrong kind of wins. You know what I mean?
He's wrong. Everybody would say he was wrong. As soon as you pass a spot, whatever direction your car is facing, that spot that you want has to be in front of your bumper. It can't be behind your bumper. If it's behind your bumper, you're SOL. You already passed it.
I've seen quite a bit of fights go down. I mean, not fist fights, but altercations go down in the parking lots.
Don't be that person that escalates in the parking lot. Just ignore and keep walking.
And 9 out of 10 times in that parking lot, Kevin, it was a man.
Okay, so if it is a spot that you pull in forward for, and it's one of those more horizontal spots, if you pass it, you can't put on your blinker and then say that you're backing up and want to get it. Now, I think what this guy did, he put his blinker on all the way around to come in. That's absolutely asinine.
He's an idiot.
That guy is absolutely an idiot, and you are not a jerk if that happens. My question, though, I was going to park about a week or two ago on a Friday night. We were at the square, going to pop in there. Parking places are a premium.
Was it parallel parking?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was parallel parking. I started to go past. I put on my blinker because, as Virginia taught me, the way her mom taught her, I always go up and I line up and I start pulling in as the wheels connect with one another, and you always perfectly parallel park.
But your blinker has to be on before you get to the spot where you're going to do what you just said.
As soon as I started to go past it, I put the blinker on.
It's got to be before you go past it.
It was.
Okay.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
Keep yelling at Kevin, though.
I will, because the laws are the laws. And if people behind you don't see your blinker in enough time, then they keep going and they think the spot is there.
Kevin,
Well, that's what
Kevin,
happened.
just put your blinker on.
I did.
I'm going to need some video proof that your blinker was on.
Next time, I'm going to put it on when I leave my house.
Kevin, just stop fighting the process, man. Just put your blinker on, man.
Yeah, okay, I did. So, yeah, I put the blinker on ahead of time. I don't know if you guys heard that. And I then went past the spot, and I'm getting ready to back in, and a guy tries to pull in forward.
No.
And he lays on the horn.
It's not his spot.
And I'm like, dude.
No.
I have my blinker on, and he was like trying to cause some beef. I'm like, look, this is a rental. I'm backing up, so you do what you want to do.
Tell the queen to get out the car and go talk to him. He'll leave real quick.
She was there. I actually had this one. I'm like, dude, no. And he gave it up after a second because I think it clicked. But what if a person on that horizontal spot, this is different than what this guy did in the email, who did a lap around, which you have no claim whatsoever.
No claim.
You're completely out of the argument on this. But a person who wants to back in, I know how we all feel about people that back into those horizontal spots. Could you say that if I put my blinker on before that, I have a right to back into a spot so you can't pull in forward?
I mean, that's going to be a tricky one, because especially if it's a congested parking garage or something like that, and now you're trying to back in perpendicular or horizontal. It doesn't matter. Like, if you sit there and you make it obvious you're about to get this spot and you have your blinker on, do it for like a 10 count so everybody knows, hey, this is me. I'm going in here. I think you should be allowed to go parallel. You should be allowed to back into it. You should be able to go nose first into it. When you claim it, it's yours. With that blinker, you're claiming it.
Okay. With your blinker, you're claiming. Now, JC and the KVJ TV chat on YouTube says your blinker doesn't give you the right of anything. So if that is the case,
What?
you could never do parallel parking the way that Virginia's mom has instructed all of us to pull parallel to the car in front of the spot and then back in that way. You can never back into a parallel parking spot
Look.
if that is the rule.
If it's tight, it's really hard to go in head first. You got to go
Exactly.
in butt first. And that's how you do it.
And the reason why I didn't is because there's so many cars coming that the time it would take for me to shimmy my car into the right spot, I'm now messing up all kinds of traffic.
You have to shimmy back and forth so many times when you go in head first. The right way to do it, to properly do it, is to go in butt first.
Okay. If you hit your blinker before getting to a parallel parking spot, does your blinker claim it? Yes or no? I'm just kind of curious.
I just
Do a majority of us agree with that?
if you drive past a spot and someone's behind you and then you hit your blinker and then try to back in
He's
to
right.
that spot,
I agree.
You're
wrong.
You're douchey.
You
in my opinion.
you gotta let the person behind you know what your plan is before you start executing. Before your foot's off the brake, your blinker should be on before you pass the spot. Your blinker should be already on so he knows, okay, that guy's going in there.
Which I don't know if you guys know this, but that's what I did.
I need to see the video.
I just wish you'd stop fighting the process, dude.
Yeah, I definitely, absolutely did.
All right.
100% positive.
Then he's in the wrong, you're in the right.
Okay. Virginia doesn't believe me, I know.
I was just messing with you. She just kept yelling at you.
I was like, I did. I swear, I did. Okay, does a blinker claim a parking spot? Yes or no? We'll ask that in the YouTube chat. You can go to YouTube, look for the KVJ show. All right, this one person is wanting to know, are they the jerk for their behavior on this date? It says, I met a guy on Tinder and I drove 45 minutes to meet him for dinner. He was 15 minutes late, which is a major pet peeve of mine.
15.
15 minutes.
That's a good bit.
Then during dinner, he keeps looking over my shoulder while I was talking, as if he was looking for something more interesting behind me and then just couldn't concentrate on me. So after we order and we're waiting for our food, he's doing it again, and I finally just snapped. I said, you know what? You're not even listening to me. Who are you looking for? Do you have a wife that you think might be walking in, or what is going on? I'm leaving. So I storm out, I get in my car, and then on my way home, I start to kind of feel a little bit like a jerk. I'm feeling a little bit bad. Plus, I kind of stuck him with the bill, I guess, because I ordered and I didn't come back.
What if he has like a lazy eye?
I would think maybe she would notice that was it, but
Some people can't help it that they have to look a little to the up and to the side because that's where their eye goes.
yeah, I don't know. What about the 15 minutes late?
That's not cool.
You blame that on a lazy eye too?
Couldn't see the clock.
It's a big pet peeve of the witches too when people are late.
Yeah, right.
The nerve
I
of you
know.
commenting on anything late. Ah, that's that
Late
guy.
people.
Oh my God. 15 minutes late for you is so early.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm 5 minutes late.
You are so out of your mind.
I beat you here, bitch.
It's getting so ridiculous that because I'm working from 3 a.m. from my house.
I clocked in first.
Okay, she wants to know if she's a jerk and should she text and offer to Venmo half of the bill. What do you think? Was she being a jerk and how she stormed off from that date, or did you give it enough?
I'm just shocked that she's shocked that it went so shockingly weird.
She snapped a little too quick, I think. Like, yeah, he's looking over your shoulder, but is that enough reason to like storm out and be mad? I don't know.
Okay.
I would have waited for him to have another offense.
Did he not answer her about the who are you waiting for? Did she just storm out?
It sounds like he didn't have an answer. He was just like, and she's like, you know what? I'm leaving. This is not working. I'm trying to talk to you, and everything I'm saying, you're just looking off in the distance.
And we know for sure he doesn't have a lazy eye.
I guess I'm confused on that theory. Are you confused with the
A little, yeah.
I was very confused. What do you mean? Why would a lazy eye make you 15 minutes late, which was the first pet peeve, and then the
Maybe he can't see the clock.
I don't know. I really don't know what she's talking about.
Well, if he's looking over your shoulder and to the right, it could be an issue with his eye.
It sounds like it's going with his head. His head is moving in that direction, and both eyes at the same time are following that pattern.
You also
Because otherwise, I would think you would notice. I hope that you'd be astute enough to observe if somebody had a lazy eye and give them the proper patience for that.
do you have Kahlua in your cup today?
No, are you offering?
I don't know. I don't know if you need it or if you got to stop drinking it.
Or start.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, some people got a lazy eye.
Okay. Okay, so what do you think on that? Should she Venmo him, or is she okay? And is that an acceptable reason to walk out of a date?
I mean, she should Venmo him. I think she snapped a little quick.
Is it possible that they're both kind of off and not right and annoying, or just didn't handle it the right way?
I think she let her impatience probably get to her, and she's probably like saying, okay, I let my anger get the best of me in that situation. She probably should have calmly handled it and said, hey, you know what? I don't think that we are connecting here. Thrown some money down and said, I'm going to get my food to go, and, let's just end it here, and let's call it good. I won't waste any more of your time, and same.
But
Right.
I think the thing we learned here, kids, is that Tinder is going to produce weird moments. Don't be shocked when you meet somebody on Tinder and then
Yeah.
it gets weird.
And maybe meet this guy for coffee instead of a full-on dinner, because you're committed to appetizer, entree, dessert, conversation. Like, if you just meet him for a coffee, you'll know in the first 5 minutes if you want to see him again.
I guess why a lot of people are doing those dates anymore. Yeah, it goes a lot better that way, it seems. In that way, you got to send them a $7 coffee rather than maybe, $27 for a meal.
It's all about my time. If I was out there in the game, I wouldn't want to spend a full dinner date, a night, 3 hours with a dude, and he's not even looking at me.
Okay. Michigan Mike says, it's just a couple bucks. I'd send it to him. Have a healthy conscience for the rest of your life. Just call it good. That's what your conscience is doing, is trying to tell you. And my daughter says, heck no, keep your money. He was late. Bye. All right. So there you go. Two different perspectives on that one issue. We did ask, does a blinker claim a parking spot? 93% of people say yes, it does.
It does.
There you go.
In that situation. Okay. As Virginia wants to point out, though, just make sure you turn it on before you get past that spot.
Yes.
Please.
And
Make
to a
sure.
10 count, because people are looking at their phone. They're not looking up.
Well, that's kind of on them. Please keep your
I
eyes on the
agree.
road.
I just don't want you to be fighting out there, Kev.
No.
She's doing too much of it for everybody.